Good afternoon, basketball fans, and welcome to postseason basketball tonight on MyBasin.com as we are ready for the 2A East Cascades Conference Tournament as two rivals face off in the opening round. We're here at Lost River High School as the Raiders play host to the Bonanza Antlers. So glad to be with you on this Thursday afternoon in Merrill, Oregon, ready for the third meeting this season between the Antlers and the Raiders. These teams split the season series. Now here in the conference tournament, the winner here will advance not only to the conference championship game, but will also book their ticket to the OSAA state playoffs. We'll talk about what's at stake tonight. We'll take a look at each of these two teams. We'll get ready with starting lineups, and tip-off is just about 7 minutes away. Thank you so much for being with us here on MyBasin.com. This is the 2A East Cascades Conference Tournament. We'll be back after this.
Parent of a high school athlete, I've given up trying to get pictures of my kid playing sports. It's nearly impossible to take pictures and enjoy the game. There is a solution, though. God's Gifts Photography attends high school sporting events in the Basin to take individual and team action photos at a great price. Search God's Gifts 2 on Facebook to learn more. They'll come and capture your athlete in action, creating those frameable lifelong memories so you can watch and just enjoy the moment. Call 541-281-2206 to get your athlete on their schedule. God's Gifts Photography.
Threads. There are many threads that run through our region. There are churches and schools and Little League teams that bring us together and bind us into communities. There are roads and cars. There are houses and jobs and businesses, all woven together to make the fabric of our communities. There are financial threads that are part of that tapestry as well. For over 80 years, it's been our pleasure to be headquartered here, providing financial services to generations of our friends and neighbors. From that first savings account to retirement planning and all of the cars and houses and groceries in between, we keep your money local, investing it back into our communities, adding more threads to the fabric to make our communities stronger. Pacific Crest Federal Credit Union. Find your path.
At MyBasin.com, we bring you the power of local radio,
the pace and reach of social media,
the information of 24-hour news,
and the excitement of local sports.
We do this with a team of radio professionals that is second to none.
Klamath Falls is a community that we love and a place that we are proud to call home.
Klamath Falls deserves a media group that is as committed to you as you are to Klamath Falls.
MyBasin.com is your go-to place for news,
sports, events, and everything going on at home in Klamath Falls.
And we welcome you back to Lost River High School, the side of the 2A East Cascades Conference Tournament, at least the girls' side of the bracket. The Bonanza Antlers are in town taking on the Lost River Raiders. This is the first leg of a split-site doubleheader tonight on MyBasin.com. Here we are, tip-off scheduled for about 5 minutes from now between the Lady Raiders and the Lady Antlers. Coming up at 7:30 tonight, there will be action in Bonanza as the boys basketball teams square off in the new gym at Bonanza High School, with the seeds being sort of flip-flop between the boys and the girls. We've got real cross-county action tonight on MyBasin.com. We'll have the coverage, of course, here for you tonight. And then later on in the evening, my partner, Matt Bowling, will be live with the boys game at Bonanza High School. But let's talk about this matchup we've got in front of us right now between the Bonanza Lady Antlers and the Lost River Lady Raiders. We'll pull up the conference standings, and these are finalized. Here's the look at the 2A East Cascades Conference. Trinity Lutheran has a bye into the conference championship. They finished 8-2 in league play, 13-9 overall. Lost River is the second seed in the tournament. That's why they get this home game today. They finished 7-2 in league play, 14-6 overall on the season, followed by the Bonanza Antlers, who finished 6-4, 13-11 overall. Everybody else, Lowell, Culver, and Oak Ridge, all missed the postseason. And so now the winner of tonight's game will battle Trinity Lutheran on Saturday at Bonanza High School. That is where the championships are being held of the 2A East Cascades Conference Tournament, and we'll also have coverage of those the conference championship games as well here on MyBasin.com. But it all starts here today, and a lot is on the line for both teams as we take a look at how the playoffs will shake out for both the Antlers and the Raiders after today. As we kind of understand how the 2A bracket works, 14 teams from around the state automatically qualify for the OSAA's 16-team bracket based on their regular season and district tournament, etc., and how they finish there. Now, the East Cascades Conference only gets 2 automatic bids. There are some conferences that get 3, but the East Cascades Conference only gets 2. And so Trinity Lutheran will have one of those spots as the top team in the league. The winner here tonight will get that automatic next spot in the playoffs. Now, as a conference champion, what they'd be playing for after that is you get a home game in at least the first round of the playoffs. And so if you're able to win here and then go beat Trinity Lutheran, you'll get a home playoff game. Regardless, if you win today, you at least make the field in the 16-team tournament. Now, I'll bring up the standings one more time for you because, well, you might be wondering, where are the next 2 teams that get into the tournament coming from, right? There's 14 auto bids. Where are the next 2? They're at large. Well, what does that mean? That means that if you look to the right side, your OSAA ranking there determines who makes it in. And as we look at the rankings around the state, there would be a couple of third seed teams that are actually ahead of Lost River in the standings. In fact, both of them could come from the Blue Mountain Conference that features Stanfield, Heppner, Weston McEwen, and Enterprise. All 4 of those teams are top 10 teams in the 2A classification. You've got to imagine that the next 2 teams out of that league, they might place 4 teams in the tournament. Even if they don't, there's teams ahead of Lost River and Bonanza in the Sunset Conference, as well as the Tri-River Conference. So if you lose today, unfortunately, you're not going to get an at-large bid. It is do or die for both of these teams tonight. And who better to face than a cross-county rival for both of these teams? They split the regular season series. It was the first meeting on January 24th. That was on this floor. That was a crazy finish. If you'll remember, it had to do with free throws and technical fouls at the end of the game that forced overtime, a game in which Lost River would eventually hold on to and win 39-38. But when these 2 teams met in Bowtown, it was the Antlers who came out on top, 44-39. Both of these games that have been played between the squads this season have been extremely competitive, extremely close, and extremely fun. And now here with the season on the line, you can expect more of the same between 2 of the fiercest rivals in all of Southern Oregon. Just a couple of minutes away from starting lineups and tip-off. We're getting our call for the national anthem here in just a moment, so we're going to step aside. And when we come back, we'll introduce you to the starters for both teams and get ready for tip-off between the Antlers and the Raiders. East Cascades Conference Tournament action continues next.
So lonely, I just sigh and moan. Seems like I've been away forever, wondering if you're coming home. I just saw your face, I know you're coming home. I swear there is no place that feels as good as home. And then I heard your voice, I know you're coming home, I know you're coming home.
This is where unconditional love and immeasurable happiness reside. This is home. Coltwell Banker, where home begins.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 120,000 participants here in Oregon who take part in high school sports or activities.
Introducing Smith Bates Marcom Solutions, your trusted partner in marketing and communication. We specialize in crafting compelling campaigns, eye-catching graphics, and impactful branding materials.
Smith Bates is like working with dependable friends. They always help us build our professional image. Through the innovative strategies that the team at Smith Baits suggested, we've been able to give the brand at Calor the boost that it desperately needed.
Unlock your potential with Smith Baits Marcom Solutions.
Well, it's time to meet the starting lineups for both teams tonight ahead of tip-off in the 2A East Cascades Conference Tournament. Let's go ahead and meet the starters first for the visiting Bonanza Antlers. Starting a 5'5 junior, number 1, Brisa Garcia. A 5'3 senior, number 2, Grace Ness. A 5'11 sophomore, number 3, Abby Hill. A 5'10 junior, number 13, Maggie Ackley. And a 5'3 senior, number 20, Mary Schooler. The Antlers are coached by Ray Struve, and he's assisted by Arthur Ochoa and Richard Otto. And now the starting 5 for the home team, the Lost River Lady Raiders. Starting a senior, number 2, Avery Turner. A sophomore, number 12, Amaris Hernandez. A senior, number 14, Juliana Cabayan. A senior, number 43, Hema Archeo Begoni. And a senior, number 50, Mackenzie Dalton. The Lost River Raiders are coached by Jennifer Hartman. Again, my name is Josh Eldridge. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. This is the first of 2 games featuring the Raiders and the Antlers this evening. The next will be played at 7:30 over in Bonanza. We'll have coverage of both games for you tonight. Appreciate you spending your evening with us wherever it might be. If you're just here for this one or if you plan on sticking around for both, thank you very much. And excited for conference tournament basketball as the postseason is underway. Last night, a couple of Klamath Basin teams participated in the 1A conference tournament. Cross Point Christian, they won their game. Chiloquin lost their game, so those 2 squads will play each other for a playoff spot in the Mountain Valley League, in which both of these 2 teams were members a season ago. Now in the 2A, they face each other for a bid to the state playoffs. And here we go. It is the Lady Raiders who control the opening tip. Avery Turner controls the rock on the right side. Turner guarded by Ackley. She has it top of the key. Ball gets whipped around to Hema Archeo Begoni. She's guarded there by Schooler. Now to the hands of Cabayan. Cabayan, she'll give it back over to Archeo Begoni. Then she gets it right back. Cabayan now with 15 to shoot. Bounces it to Dalton. Dalton drives inside. A right-handed hook shot is good. And Lost River strikes first. Bonanza now coming the other way. 7:28 to go in the first quarter. Mary Schooler with it. Now it's Brisa Garcia. Tries to find a cutting Schooler, but they turn it over. And the Lady Raiders regain possession. Avery Turner, she brings it up for the Raiders. Turner guarded well beyond the arc by Ackley. Trying to back her down a little bit. Picks up the dribble and finds Cabayan. Cabayan shakes Schooler as the defender. Bounces it to Hema Archeo Begoni. Her layup won't go. The loose ball picked up underneath by Schooler. And she'll lead the charge for the Antlers. Again, they trail with just under 7 minutes to go in the first quarter. Schooler drives all the way in. She gets fouled. And they're going to say that this foul was on the floor. And so Schooler will inbound to the baseline. Schooler, she looks for Grace Ness coming off a screen on that far side. Ness has it now around top of the key, takes a screen. Ness picks up the dribble and takes too many steps. She travels. And so another turnover gives the Raiders the ball. It is Hernandez to inbound, and she gives it to Turner. Turner again guarded by Ackley at half court, guarding her tightly. Turner spins around trying to get room around Ackley. Skips a pass underneath to Archeo Begoni. She drives in against Schooler but picks up the dribble herself. Maneuvers around Schooler for the shot. It's no good. Dalton with the rebound, and then she's fouled. Mackenzie Dalton will shoot 2 free throws. Looking at Mackenzie Dalton this season, at the free throw line, she shoots 43% on the season as she makes her first there. Leads the team in rebounding this year. Over 160 rebounds on the season for the senior Mackenzie Dalton. Again, she made her first. Her second is going to rim out, and so our score is 3-0. Emma Archeo Bagoni gets the rebound, tried to feed Turner on the block, but the ball goes out of bounds, and the Antlers will take it. Again, 3-0 our score in favor of the Raiders. 6:20 to go in the first quarter. We're only just getting started. Grace Ness has the ball for the Antlers. She's now into the front court. Gives it up to Mary Schooler. Schooler dribbles around top of the key. She'll take a triple here and there, but the Antlers' offense built around inside looks. They don't shoot particularly great from long range, and the key for them is going to be trying to find room inside. Grace Ness, she's trying to get inside, dumps it underneath to Brisa Garcia, kicks it out to Schooler with 8 to shoot. Schooler gives it back underneath to Garcia. She feels some contact, has to go up with the shot. It's contested, it won't go. And the rebound is picked back up by Hill. She feeds Garcia again. That shot also off the mark. And now Turner, after the rebound, comes the other way for the Raiders. They lead 3-0. 5:34 to go in the first. Here's Hema Archeo Bagoni kicking it outside to Cobayan. She'll go around the horn, find herself top of the key, settle in for a triple. It rims out. The rebound picked up underneath by Hema Archeo Bagoni. Her putback no. Dalton's putback also offline before finally Brisa Garcia wins the board and now gives it up to Grace Ness as she crosses the timeline. Ness gives it back up to Schooler. She has it straight away. Schooler dribbling to her left and now gives it up to Abby Hill. Hill, she's looking for Ness. Instead, Dalton pressures her and turns it over. Turner trying to pick up the pace for the Raiders, brings it all the way in. A wild shot off the glass won't go. Amaris Hernandez with the rebound. Her putback no. Dalton, the third look, also off the mark, and she gets another opportunity for the Raiders. 2 offensive rebounds this possession. Amaris Hernandez fires a triple, no. Avery Turner, another putback, also off the mark. And finally, a whistle is going to keep possession with the Raiders. Already tonight, dominating on the glass, getting so many extra chances at the rim. It's going to force Ray Struve to call time. His team is only down 3-0, and there's 4.5 to go in the first. We'll be back with more of the 2A East Cascades Conference Tournament after this on mybasin.com. First quarter action continues from Lost River High School. 3-0 the score. But Lost River has done a great job on the glass, giving themselves multiple opportunities. They haven't cashed in, but they're doing the work to put them in a position to get ahead. Isabel Herring checks in for the Raiders. And a substitution in for Bonanza as well. Haley Werleski subs in. And I believe we had to fix the shot clock. It's now at 31 seconds. 4:33 to go in the first. Amaris Hernandez, she'll look for Herring close to the rim. Herring goes up with the shot. It's no good. A long rebound is collected by Grace Ness. She races the far side of the floor. Ness gives it up to Schooler, dribbles top of the key, now finds Ackley. Ackley guarded by Turner, picks up the dribble near the arc, now gives it back up to Schooler. Schooler brings it into the corner, gives it up to Ackley. Ackley had trouble with the pass for a moment, gets it on the block. Grace Ness cutting to the rim, blocked by Dalton. And Isabel Herring picks up the loose ball. Amaris Hernandez with it now. Hernandez gives it up to Herring, whips it in the corner to Cobayan, guarded there by Schooler. Here's Cobayan, now to the hands of Dalton, whips the pass to Hernandez, near side to Herring. She'll try a triple, back iron. And the rebound is going to result in a foul. Grace Ness, I believe she would have been fouled from behind there. We're going to charge the foul this time to Lost River, their second. And I can't quite make out who the foul was charged to, but 2 team fouls for the Raiders, 1 for the Antlers. And here's Grace Ness into the front court. Ness kicks a pass near side to Schooler. Schooler, a couple of steps inside the arc, picks up the dribble, dumps it underneath to Werleski, outside to Ackley at the free throw line. Ackley finds a little bit of room, brings it back out beyond the arc. Now Grace Ness with it. She'll find some room to the left, step back for a triple. Grace Ness will not hit the shot. And Mackenzie Dalton with the rebound and a whistle. is going to be charged, I believe, against Breeza Garcia. Got a little aggressive trying to rip the ball away from Dalton there. And, yeah, that will be the foul. 2 now apiece for each team. And Lost River will inbound away from the basket. Still only 3-0 and 3:19 to go in the first quarter. Lost River is in front. You know, the first couple of games between these squads have been low scoring in the first half, but it seems like when one heats up, the other is right there with them. These teams have really matched each other stride for stride in the games that they've played earlier this year. And again, they split the season series. So a true rubber match and an opportunity at a state tournament berth. Pass intended for Werleski is tipped away. The Antlers recollect in the backcourt. And now they've got a race ahead. Grace Ness brings it all the way into the near corner. Gets it underneath to Werleski. Werleski feeds a pass to Schooler. She's trapped on the baseline. A held ball will keep possession with the Antlers. It's a good idea by Werleski to try to find Schooler cutting to the cup there, but good interior defense by the Raiders to make it a challenge. Schooler to inbound, looks for Garcia, but it's tipped out of bounds by Cobayan. And again, Garcia was open here on the near block, but Cobayan getting that hand in there on the inbound pass. The Antlers will try it again with 11 seconds on the shot clock. They find Garcia in the near corner now with 10. Garcia bounces it to Ness. Ness comes into the corner. She's got 6 seconds. Ness looking for Schooler with 4. Schooler now with 3. They've got to get a shot off, and they won't. A shot clock violation as the Raider defense stands tall. So they hold on to this lead, 3-0, with 2:34 to go in the first. Amaris Hernandez fires a pass ahead to Zuliana Cobayan. She has it guarded by Werleski. Gives it back up to Hernandez. Hernandez facing down Schooler, takes a screen left, turns around and finds Turner, top of the key. Turner trying to back down Ackley, hands it off to Cobayan. Cobayan finds Herring on the wing, now outside to Hernandez. Hernandez trying to get a pass to Herring. It was loose for a second. She recollects. Pass fed down to Archeo Bagoni with 5 seconds on the shot clock. She's fouled. Feeling the contact and getting the shot off in time, Hema Archeo Bagoni will head to the line. This will be the first free throws for the senior. All of Lost River's points actually off the hands of Mackenzie Dalton so far. The first free throw for Archeo Bagoni is off the mark, and we'll see Vashti Arata check in for the Antlers as Breeza Garcia heads to the bench. Second free throw pending for Archeo Bagoni. Tried to use the backboard that time, can't get it to go, but hard work on the glass, kept it alive for the Raiders. Loose ball, a scramble for it. It's a held ball. Possession stays with the Raiders. Credit Isabel Herring, the freshman on that play, for keeping the ball inbounds and giving her team a chance. Great play by the freshman there, and she'll also inbound. Here we go. Herring, she'll look for Archeo Bagoni on the wing, get it back, a long 2, high arcing shot is good. What a sequence in this conference tournament for the young Isabel Herring. Her team now leads 5-0. The Antlers looking for a response. Schooler tries one from the elbow, rattles around the rim, doesn't go. The Antlers battle for the rebound, but Cobayan rips it away. Zuliana Cobayan in transition, bounces it to Hernandez, high off the glass and in. Lost River leads 7-0. A minute 27 to go. Bonanza still looking for points. Here's Grace Ness. Ness trying to find room around Hernandez, gives it up to Ackley, bounces it to Werleski, finds Ness off a screen, now on the near side. Ness trying to find room at the free throw line. She's trapped, gets rid of it to Schooler. Schooler now on the right wing. Tries to feed a pass underneath to Ackley. It's tipped out of bounds. The Antlers keep possession. But Juliana Cobayan pumped up on defense, and she should be. The Raiders are all over this first quarter as Madison Holster checks into the game for Amaris Hernandez. Mary Schooler inbounds top of the key to Grace Ness. Straightaway triple, no good. The rebound tipped out. Ness gets it back. Finds Schooler in the corner. Schooler trying to get around the defender. Stops in the paint. Finds Ness cutting to the rim. She's fouled. And so Grace Ness will have a chance to put the Antlers on the board with 54 seconds to go in the first quarter. Grace Ness, a senior, stands 5'3". I know her dad, Campbell, probably getting ready for the Bonanza boys game as he's the head coach there. And they'll play again at 7:30 tonight. I saw the Lost River boys coach, Brad Johnson, here in attendance tonight. And again, should be a good one later on tonight in Bonanza as Grace Ness split her 2 free throws. The score 7-1. Madison Holster has it. She tries to go baseline. Has it ripped away by Schooler. And a foul. And they're going to charge this foul, I believe, to Archeo Bagoni, and the Antlers will keep possession. 7-1, 44 seconds to go in the opening period. Here's Grace Ness into the front court, loses the dribble for a moment, but recollects, finds Schooler. She thought about a triple and gives it up to Werleski at the free throw line. Now to Grace Ness, outside to Schooler. Head fakes a 3, gives it back up to Ness beyond the arc. Ness drives in, tries to find Werleski on the block, and she picks up the loose ball. Feeds it to Ackley, inside, Ackley to Arata, 8 seconds. Outside to Schooler for a long 2, it won't go, and the rebound is picked up by Archeo Bagoni. Raiders with it now. Shot clock is off. 8 seconds to go. Turner kicks it to Herring. A wing 3 won't go. Holster with the long rebound with 2 seconds. A prayer at the buzzer won't go. And we end the first quarter in a defensive battle as Lost River leads Bonanza 7-1. We'll be back with second quarter action after this on mybasin.com.
So lonely, I just sigh and moan. Seems like I've been away forever, wondering if you're coming home. I just saw your face, I know you're coming home. I swear there is no place home. And then I heard your voice. I know you're coming home. I know you're coming home.
This is where unconditional love and immeasurable happiness reside. This is home. Coltwell Banker, where home begins.
One of these teams will book an automatic trip to the state playoffs. And after 1 quarter of play, it is Lost River who leads 7-1. And that means Bonanza was held without a field goal in the first quarter. They open up the second quarter with a missed triple, and now here's Isabel Herring. Finds Turner off a screen. Turner can't control the pass. Herring fired it a little bit too tall for Turner, and so the Antlers will get it back. Just getting started here in the second quarter. The only point for Bonanza came off the hands of Grace Ness at the free throw line as she dribbles with it now. Ness stops on the wing, kicks it over to Ackley. Back to Ness, guarded by Herring. Now to the hands of Ackley. Ackley tries to drive inside against Holster, gets by her, loses the dribble, kicks it out of bounds, and the Raiders get possession back. Ackley had her defender beat and then lost the dribble. Raiders ball. Inbound pass goes to Holster, and she'll give it back to Herring. Guarded all the way up the floor by Ness. Lofts a pass to Dalton at half court, and Herring gets it back. Herring well beyond the arc, guarded by Ness, picks up the dribble, finds Turner off a screen on the far side. Turner dribbles in, fields a double team, loses the ball, but a foul. A good idea by the Bonanza defense, but too much contact given by, I believe that was Grace Ness. Yeah, picking up her first there as Breeza Garcia checks in for Haley Werleski. 7:06 to go in the second quarter. 5 on the floor for both teams. We'll start with the Raiders with possession. It's Turner, Herring, Archeo Bagoni, Dalton, and Holster. Holster has it now. She loses it. Loose ball is still battled for at half court. Archeo Bagoni picks it up. We'll get you the 5 on the floor for Antlers as they create the turnover. It's Ackley, Schooler, Garcia, Arata, and Ness. Here's Schooler with it. Kicks it out to Arata. Bounces it underneath to Garcia, but another turnover. Garcia couldn't corral the pass, and our score remains 7-1 with 6:38 to go in the first half. Isabel Herring with it. She kicks it to Archeo Bagoni on the block, backs down Schooler, fields a double team, finds Holster top of the key, now to the hands of Herring. Herring with it, finds Turner. Turner, a long 2, high arcing shot is good. 9-1, 6:18 to go in the first half. And the first points for Avery Turner, and another turnover for the Antlers. The Raider defense has been impenetrable so far. Here's Herring into the front court. Herring gives it to Turner. She'll be fouled on the drive. And so now Isabel Herring will inbound on the near sideline as the Raiders make a substitution. Amaris Hernandez checks in for Madison Holster. A chance to make it a 10-point game with a made bucket here for Lost River. Inbound pass goes to Mackenzie Dalton, feeds Herring. She'll try a three, too strong. Rebound goes out of bounds, and it will go to the Antlers. Again, 6 minutes to go in the second quarter. They need a bucket. I mentioned it in the first quarter. The first meetings between these two teams, both of the first two, defensive battles as Maggie Ackley misses a shot. Breeza Garcia for the putback won't go. Battles for a third look. Grace Ness can't save it from going out of bounds. And the Raiders again take it. That time the Antlers trying to get some movement in on the glass. Unable to. And the Raiders defense again prevailing on that possession. They lead 9-1. 5.5 to go, second quarter. Turner takes a screen, feeds him. Archeo Bagoni cutting to the rim. Hangs on the cup, doesn't go, but Dalton cleans it up with the putback. The score now 11-1. Antlers trail by 10 in the second quarter. Here's Schooler with it. Schooler steps back beyond the arc, takes a screen right, steps behind the arc for three, no, and the rebound picked up by Dalton. Now Avery Turner with it. Turner guarded by Ackley, moves right, finds Archeo Bagoni on the roll again, this time kicks it out to Hernandez. Hernandez guarded by Schooler at half court, loses it, Schooler dives on it, kicks it further down the floor, and then picked up by Hernandez, and then Schooler fouls in the backcourt. And for Mary's sake, probably would have been better to let Hernandez just touch it in the backcourt. Would have been an easy turnover. Instead, Lost River keeps it, and Schooler picks up the team's third foul this period. Herring gives it up to Turner. Turner tries to drive the near side, takes a Dalton screen, tries to feed Dalton, and instead it's Archeo Bagoni who finds the pass. Her first shot no good. She kicks it out to Hernandez for a triple. That also rims out. This time the rebound picked up by Arata. Now gives it up to Schooler, and she'll bring it up for the Antlers. Schooler dribbles top of the key, switches to a right drive. She drives in and gets fouled on the shot. Mary Schooler, a chance at the line. The Antlers, of course, only their other point at the free throw line. If you're just joining us, Grace Ness had a free throw in the first quarter. And the Antlers otherwise still without a made field goal, but they might have to do it at the line. That's a make for Mary Schooler, a team that only shoots 57% from the line this season. As Avery Turner checks out, Zuliana Kabayan checks in for the Raiders. Schooler stares down the cup again at the free throw line. That one rims out, and the rebound picked up by Dalton. She has been a monster inside for the Raiders so far. Here's now Isabel Herring. Gives it up to Dalton. Dalton, she's going to hand it off to Kabayan off a screen. Now here she's guarded by Ackley. Kabayan takes another screen right, is met there by Garcia, who stole it. And now the Antlers, a chance. See if they can capture some momentum on that steal. Here's Mary Schooler. Dribbles to the wing. Kicks it to Ackley. That's Arata. Now back to Schooler. Schooler dribbles inside. Kicks it out. There's Ackley. Now to the hands of Schooler. Schooler down low to Ackley again. On the block. Outside to Ness. 14 to shoot. Ness at the free throw line. Dumps it underneath to Arata. Turnaround jumper. She's fouled. Vashti Arata to the line. She's a good role player for Bonanza. She started a handful of games this season. The senior most often comes off the bench, and she usually leads the bench in scoring. At least the games that I've seen Bonanza this season, as she makes her first free throw. Her and Maggie Ackley have a lot of similarities with how they play. A lot of post play for both teams, both players, good rebounding as well. And here they are both on the floor. I think Bonanza trying to err on the side of some offense here. A split trip for Vashti Arata keeps our score 11-3. 3:30 to go in the second quarter. Here's Dalton from the right block. Her shot too strong, and Breeza Garcia gets the miss. She is double teamed and turns the ball over. Coach Struve trying to make a case that she was pretty much wrapped up from behind, but official says that, well, Garcia traveled. Here's Grace Ness with it now. Ness, I guess it must have been the Raiders who traveled with it. Here's Ackley. She tries a triple that doesn't go. Rebound is battled for and tipped out of bounds by Garcia. Again, 3:04 to go in the first half. Stick with us during halftime. We'll talk about a game we've seen so far, give you a look at the scoring totals for both teams, and also take a look ahead at the nightcap tonight, which will take place at Bonanza High School, as the boys between these two teams will also play tonight in Bowtown at 7:30. Avery Turner bounce the pass to Cobayan. She'll try a long two. It's money. Lost River back up in front by 10 with 2:44 to go in the first half. Here's Breeza Garcia on the block, tries to push her way through, kicks it outside to Schooler. Fakes a drive right, gets to the free throw line left, then finds Ness in the same spot. Ness fields a double team, turns around, finds Ackley. Ackley driving inside against Turner, kicks it to Garcia, then Arata at the free throw line. Here's Ackley. Ackley driving inside, can't finish off the glass, and a rebound picked up by Archeo Bagoni, now into the hands of Turner. Turner driving right down Main Street, kicks it out to Hernandez. Now Dalton drives in, and she's fouled on the shot. Mackenzie Dalton will shoot a pair. .207 to go in the second quarter. Lost River leads 13-3, and we've got time. We'll be back after this, and the East Cascades Conference Tournament continues on mybasin.com.
Drive play an important part of our everyday. Whether we're going to work, dropping off the kids at school, or maybe even on that first date. Vehicles we drive play an important role in all of that. And that's why at Klamath Falls Subaru, we are so passionate about getting you the long-lasting vehicle that you will love. When you come to our store, you'll find that every department is dedicated to caring for our customers, which is why I can proudly send anyone here knowing that they will be treated like family. Stop by and say hi. When you come to Klamath Falls Subaru, you're coming home.
13-3 as Lost River leads Bonanza. 2:07 to go in the second quarter. Bonanza still looking for their first field goal. They've got one made free throw each from Grace Ness, Vashti Arata, and Mary Schooler. But for the Antlers, boy, Mackenzie Dalton has looked good. She's got 5 points and a whole boatload of rebounds. I'm not keeping that total right now in the booth, but got to imagine she's pushing 10 already. And she'll have 2 more free throws coming up for her after the break, as she was fouled on the shot for the team's 4th foul. It's Bonanza's 4th foul. Lost River only has 2, and again, Dalton heads to the line. Mackenzie Dalton, a senior who didn't play last year for Lost River, and we talked with head coach Jen Hartman yesterday for Ballin' in the Basin. She phoned in for our show and was talking about these players really dedicating themselves in the summer, talking mainly about Avery Turner, Mackenzie Dalton, and Hema Archeo Bagoni, the team's 3 leading scorers, all seniors who didn't play a year ago, and how they really dedicated themselves to come back for their senior year. And now here they are, a win away from a state tournament berth. Dalton came up empty at the line, and the Antlers come away with the ball. Here's Ackley into the front court, gives it up to Schooler. Schooler dribbles with the left hand, takes an Arata screen left, then kicks it to Ackley again, top of the key. Maggie Ackley loses the ball for a moment. Grace Ness sits on it, and a held ball gives possession to the Raiders. Suffocating defense for Lost River has been the name of the game so far. They are not giving Bonanza anything easy. Here's Avery Turner now after the inbound pass. Turner brings it along the far side, gives it up to Archeo Bagoni, fires a pass inside to Dalton, intercepted by Ness, and a loose ball after the next pass. Ness wins it and then gets fouled trying to get the ball up the floor. Charge the foul to Mackenzie Dalton. That's the team's third and Dalton's second. A minute 29 to go before halftime, and the Antlers trail the Raiders 13-3. Substitution for Lost River. Dalton to the bench. Isabel Herring in. Here's Grace Ness. Ness gives the pass to Schooler. Schooler driving inside. Kicks it outside to Ackley. Ackley gets to the block. Up with the shot. She's fouled. Maggie Ackley. It's her turn at the free throw line. She is the fourth Bonanza Antler to shoot free throws tonight. Everyone else has split their trip, but trying to bring this team in a little closer. Here's her first. Misses it. Madison Holster checking in for Avery Turner for Lost River. And another shot on the way for Maggie Ackley. That time she's good. 13-4, 9-point difference. A minute 14 to go before halftime. Here's Archeo Bagoni driving inside. Kicks the pass to Cobayan. Outside to Herring. Herring a couple of steps inside the arc. A tough bucket for Isabel Herring. And the Raiders lead 15-4, under a minute to go in the first half. Mary Schooler dribbles it up here. Now it's Arada who loses the dribble and turns it over. And now here's Zuliana Cobayan. Cobayan into the front court, has it straight away. 10 seconds separate shot and game clock. Madison Holster bounces it underneath to Archeo Bagoni. She's met there on the block. A held ball tied up by Breeza Garcia will give possession to the Antlers. Shot clock is off. 30 seconds to go in the second. The Antlers could take the last shot if they wanted. I think I heard Coach Struve say that's what he did want. Here's Grace Ness. Ness over to Schooler. Schooler driving in. Brings it along the near block. Bounces underneath to Garcia. Garcia up with the shot off the glass. No. And Archeo Bagoni with the board now with 12 seconds in the Raiders. Hernandez kicks a pass ahead to Herring, and she can't control it. It goes out of bounds. The Antlers take it with 7 seconds remaining in the first half. Grace Ness will inbound to Arada with 6 seconds. Arada now into the front court. Arada loses the ball, and that will bring us to the end of the first half. Lost River leads 15-4 against Bonanza, and the Antlers are without a field goal 16 minutes into the ball game. We'll talk about it all coming up next as we start our halftime coverage and the East Cascades Conference Tournament live on mybasin.com.
Parent of a high school athlete, I've given up trying to get pictures of my kid playing sports. It's nearly impossible to take pictures and enjoy the game. There is a solution, though. God's Gifts Photography attends high school sporting events in the Basin to take individual and team action photos at a great price. Search God's Gifts 2 on Facebook to learn more. They'll come and capture your athlete in action, creating those frameable lifelong memories so you can watch and just enjoy the moment. Call 541-281-2206 to get your athlete on their schedule. God's Gifts Photography.
Threads. There are many threads that run through our region. There are churches and schools and Little League teams that bring us together and bind us into communities. There are roads and cars. There are houses and jobs and businesses, all woven together to make the fabric of our communities. There are financial threads that are part of that tapestry as well. For over 80 years, it's been our pleasure to be headquartered here, providing financial services to generations of our friends and neighbors. From that first savings account, to retirement planning, and all of the cars and houses and groceries in between, we keep your money local, investing it back into our communities, adding more threads to the fabric to make our communities stronger. Pacific Crest Federal Credit Union, find your path.
At mybasin.com, we bring you the power of local radio,
The pace and reach of social media,
The information of 24-hour news,
and the excitement of local sports.
We do this with a team of radio professionals that is second to none.
Klamath Falls is a community that we love and a place that we are proud to call home.
Klamath Falls deserves a media group that is as committed to you as you are to Klamath Falls.
mybasin.com is your go-to place for news,
sports, events, and everything going on at home in Klamath Falls.
Josh Eldridge back with you for our coverage of the East Cascades Conference Tournament from Lost River High School. At halftime, it is the Raiders who lead Bonanza 15-4. It has been all Raiders through the first half. They are led in scoring by Mackenzie Dalton with 5 points. Isabel Herring has 4, and they've got 2 each from Avery Turner, Amaris Hernandez, and Zuliana Cobayan. Those are your scorers right now for Lost River. For Bonanza, it has been, a bad first half. There's really no two ways to put it. They have yet to make a field goal. Their offense has been ineffective in the first 16 minutes. They have 1 point each from Grace Ness, Maggie Ackley, Vashti Arata, and Mary Schooler. And it pains me to say here in the conference tournament, the Antlers offense has been put in handcuffs by the Lost River defense. I mean, the Raiders are out-rebounding the Antlers. The Antlers are turning the ball over. The Raiders are getting their hands in the passing lanes. They're doing everything right from a defensive standpoint right now, and it's why they're up by 11. You can't really account for why Bonanza doesn't have a made field goal. They've had open shots. Unfortunately, they haven't been falling when they've taken them, but I think even if they had, Lost River would still find themselves up at halftime just because of the hard work that they've put in on the offensive boards specifically. I mean, so many second, third, fourth chance opportunities generated by Mackenzie Dalton and Hema Archeo Bagoni, and not to mention the freshman Isabel Herring. She has 4 points on offense. She has played some good defense, and she's rebounding the ball, passing it well. She's a big reason why her team is out in front here as well. I mentioned that this is the East Cascades Conference Tournament. Let's take a look at the East Cascades Conference standings. Trinity Lutheran finished at the top of the league with an 8-2 league record. So they have a bye automatically into the OSAA 2A state playoffs. And then Lost River finished second. That's why they're hosting this game, 7-2 in league play. Then the Antlers, who were 6-4. Lowell, Culver, and Oak Ridge all eliminated from postseason contention. The winner of this game will not only play Trinity Lutheran for a conference title, but will also get an automatic bid to the 16-team playoff. The loser, according to the state rankings, are done after tonight. As we kind of discuss how the playoffs work in the 2A classification, 14 teams automatically make it in to the 16-team bracket. A handful of conferences get 3 auto bids. The East Cascades Conference only gets 2. So you win here tonight, you get one of those top 2 spots. If you beat Trinity Lutheran, you're at least guaranteed a home game. Now, you may be wondering, okay, well, there's 14 automatic qualifiers. Where are the other 2 coming from to field 16 total teams? Well, there are 2 at-large spots based off of the highest OSAA rankings. And I'll bring up this for you one more time. See on the right side there, your OSAA ranking determines if you get that at-large spot. And so with Lost River at number 15 and Bonanza at number 2, they would be some of the first teams left out of the 16-team bracket. I mean, I look at schools or the conferences like the Blue Mountain Conference who have 4 top 10 teams in them. They could very well send 4 teams to the playoff. I also look at the Sunset Conference who have Oakland at number 17 in their spot. If Bonanza is able to come back and pull this one off, they would still be whoever loses would still be left out. If it's Bonanza, they're ranked 22nd. They'd be done. Looking at Lost River, ranked number 15. Myrtle Point is number 11. They're not in the conference race. Let's see, number 14, Monroe. They are not in the conference championship. You even look up north a little bit more to the Northwest League. Schools like Clatskanie, number 13. But really, it's that Blue Mountain Conference with a whole host of top 10 teams that would likely get a bid over either one of these 2 teams if they lost tonight. Right now, Lost River is in control. They got to feel good in their locker rooms. As a matter of fact, they've already emerged from the locker rooms, probably trying to stay loose. Continue to play good defense. Continue to get shots to fall. And keep the Antlers at bay. Try to extend your season and play for a conference title. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we will get ready for second half action as we continue your coverage of the East Cascades Conference Tournament here on mybasin.com.
Wait, all I do is wait. So lonely, I just sigh and moan. Seems like I've been away forever. Wondering if you're coming home. I just saw your face. I know you're coming home. I swear there is no place that feels as good as home. And then I heard your voice. I know you're coming home. I know you're coming home.
This is where unconditional love and immeasurable happiness reside. This is home. Coltwell Banker, where home begins.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 120,000 participants here in Oregon who take part in high school sports or activities.
Introducing Smith Bates Marcom Solutions, your trusted partner in marketing and communication. We specialize in crafting compelling campaigns, eye-catching graphics, and impactful branding materials.
Smith Bates is like working with dependable friends. They always help us build our professional image.
Through the innovative strategies that the team at Smith Bates suggested, we've been able to give the brand at Calor the boost that it desperately needed.
Unlock your potential with Smith Bates Marcom Solutions.
Getting closer to the start of the third quarter, the East Cascades Conference Tournament between the Lost River Raiders and the Bonanza Antlers. This is the first of two games tonight on mybasin.com covering the East Cascades Conference Tournament, of course, here at Lost River High School. And then tonight at 7:30 at Bonanza High School, this very same matchup will take place. The Antlers, in that case, of course, hosting the Raiders for a chance at an automatic bid into the East Cascades Conference playoffs, and a chance at a automatic state tournament berth as well as that conference championship. Pardon for my misspeaking there. As we get ready for the third quarter, it is Lost River who leads Bonanza 15-4. The Antlers have already got their five out on the floor who'll start this second half. It's Grace Ness, Mary Schooler, Maggie Ackley, Breeza Garcia, and Abby Hill. And the Raiders have still yet to emerge their five, although looks like it's, as I try to look in there, looks like Avery Turner, Amaris Hernandez, Zuliana Kabayan, Mackenzie Dalton, and Hema Archeo Bagoni. It's all 10 original starters out there on the floor. Battle for the season as the second half begins now. It is the Raiders who start with possession, and Amaris Hernandez brings it into the front court. She'll give it up to Hema Archeo Bagoni. Had trouble with it for a moment, but recollects. Intended pass goes inside for Turner. A loose ball is picked up by the Antlers. Ahead to Maggie Ackley. Ackley outnumbered in transition. Feeds Ness. Ness tries to use the glass. Can't get it to go. Rebound is batted around into the hands of Amaris Hernandez. So the Raiders come the other way here in the third quarter with 7.5 to go. They lead by 11. Amaris Hernandez dribbles on the wing, has it in the right hand, met there by Ackley, gives it up to Turner. Turner tries a long two, back iron. Rebound is tipped around into the hands of Breeza Garcia in the corner. Gives it up to Hill, now Schooler with it. Schooler brings it up for the Antlers, drives inside the paint, tries to step to the rim. She is fouled on the shot. Are they going to say she was fouled on the floor? She didn't take contact until she was in a shooting motion, but they're going to say that that was a foul on the floor. Mary Schooler is going to inbound. Schooler inbounds quickly to Ackley. She tries to go up. That time she's fouled on the shot, no question. And Maggie Ackley, who was one of the 4 players in the first half to have a made free throw, will head back to the line here and try to cut it to a single-digit margin with 7:04 to go in the third quarter. Maggie Ackley makes her first. Avery Turner subs out for the Raiders as Madison Holster checks in. And a second free throw on the way for Maggie Ackley. And she misses the second one, splits her trip. Ball is saved from going out of bounds by the Raiders, and Zuliana Kabayan is fouled trying to make her way up the floor. Charge the foul to Grace Ness. That's the Antlers' first, and Grace's third. Inbound pass goes to Holster. She collects it at half court, fields a triple team, and gets rid of it to Kabayan, guarded by Garcia. Kabayan loses the dribble but recollects, has it in the corner, dumps it underneath to Archeo Bagoni, and Mary Schooler is going to reach in and foul her. Two team fouls apiece, 6:51 to go in the third quarter, and for Schooler, that's her second personal. And here's Hema Archeo Bagoni to inbound. Looked for Hernandez, then tries to find Dalton. That ball goes out of bounds into no man's land. The Antlers will get possession. So here's Grace Ness. Ness has it into the front court. Bounce pass goes into Hill on the block. Hill tries to find Ness cutting inside. Her shot blocked by Archeo Bagoni. Now Hernandez has it on the far sideline. Hernandez whips the pass to Dalton. Into the corner to Kabayan for three. No. And the rebound picked up by Garcia. She gives it up to Schooler. Schooler trying to drive on the right side. Schooler steps back, gives it up to Hill. Hill thought about the long two, then skips the pass to Ackley. Ackley on the block. Gets to the free throw line. Outside to Ness. Ness drives the lane. Up with the shot. No. And the rebound tipped out of bounds. It was tipped off of Grace Ness out of bounds. She was sitting behind the baseline. The ball landed in her lap. She's technically the last one to touch it. Heads up play. I believe that was Kabayan who tipped it in her favor as she receives the inbound pass. Kabayan dribbles it along the far sideline, now brings it ahead straight away, guarded there by Garcia, tries to drive inside, loses the dribble, and Schooler picks it up. She's trying to shake the defenders in the backcourt, finally finds some room on the far sideline. Schooler spins around on the right wing, guarded tightly by Hernandez. Now to the hands of Ness. Ness by the defender, she's fouled on the shot. Grace Ness will shoot a pair. All of Bonanza's points have been at the free throw line thus far, and Grace Ness has one of those on a previous split trip. Here is her first on this try. Misses. Second one on the way for Ness. That one is too strong. An empty trip for the Antlers. Keeps this one a 10-point difference with 5:36 to go in the third quarter. Here's Archeo Bagoni. Now passes to Dalton. Dalton guarded by Hill. Double team now by Schooler. Feeds Archeo Bagoni underneath, and she scores uncontested. 17-5, 5:23 to go in the third. First points for Archeo Bagoni on that last score. On the other side, Grace Ness gets fouled. She'll head back to the line. 1 for 3 in previous trips. You just saw her miss her previous two a moment ago. Trying to straighten the ship here, as now her team is down by 12. That free throw rattles in and out. And she'll get a second. Couple of subs in for Lost River. Isabel Herring and Macy Thompson in for Hernandez and Dalton. Second free throw on the way for Grace Ness. That one is good, and our score is 17-6 in favor of the Raiders. 5:13 to go in the third. Here's Zuliana Kabayan. Gives it up to Archeo Bagoni. Schooler got a hand in there trying to get the steal. Instead, Archeo Bagoni drives inside and can't finish. Rebound is picked up by the Antlers. Here's Schooler with it on the far side. Schooler drives all the way in, up to the arc. Her triple is offline. Rebound is picked up by Garcia, ripped away by Kabayan in the corner. And she gives it up to Archeo Bagoni, now to the hands of Herring, into the front court for the Raiders. Herring is guarded by Grace Ness, tightly well beyond the arc. Herring gets around the defender, takes a screen, trips on her player. Antlers come away with it, outlet pass to Ness. She gives it up to Ackley underneath, passed back outside to Ness, and Ness is fouled. That is 5 team fouls for the Raiders now, so Grace Ness will get another chance at the line, but not before Coach Jennifer Hartman calls time. Our score is 17-6, 4:25 to go in the third. This is the East Cascades Conference Tournament on mybasin.com. (17-6) the score, 4:25 to go in the third quarter. The Lost River Raiders are in front of the Bonanza Antlers right now. The Antlers doing everything they can to try to scratch and claw their way back into this ball game, but it's not going to happen unless you start to get some of these shots to fall. Right now, still 2.5 quarters into the game, the Antlers haven't made a shot that's not from the free throw line. Grace Ness has 2 points as she shoots 2 free throws. Makes the first. She's now 3 of 7 at the line. This will be her 8th free throw. Stares down the iron. The shot is up. It is no good. Rebound collected by Isabel Herring. Boy, she has been good tonight for the Raiders. Got a lot from their freshman. Macy Thompson has it on the block for Lost River. She's fouled by Grace Ness, who tried to reach in for a steal. Isabel Herring will inbound, but not before the Antlers make a switch. Looks like Ackley and Werleski check in for Bonanza. Inbound pass goes to Hawkins. Hawkins loses the dribble, but it's picked up by Kabayan. Kabayan loses it herself, tries to pass to Holster. Holster corrals the loose ball. Now to the hands of Hawkins. Hawkins has it on the right elbow. Outside to Kabayan. Drives past the defender. Bounces it to Herring. Left elbow jumper. Isabel Herring is too strong. Got her own miss. Back up with the shot, no. Thompson goes for the rebound but tips it out of bounds. And the Antlers get it back. 17-7 the score. 3:52 to go in the third. Here come the Antlers. Mary Schooler dribbles top of the key. Takes a screen left. Has the dribble away from her body, then gives it up to Ackley. Tries to split the defense. Ackley loses the dribble, runs into Werleski, and the ball goes out of bounds. The Antlers had all their wires crossed on that play, and they turn it over. 3:37 to go in the third. They trail by 10. Isabel Herring's got to tie her shoes. It'll take some time for that. And we're ready to go. Madison Holster will inbound for the Raiders. And she looks to Holster to receive the inbound pass. Looks to Herring to receive the inbound pass as she dribbles into the front court, gets inside against Schooler, gives it outside to Holster. Holster tries a triple. It's left short. The rebound is won by Brisa Garcia, and she will get fouled, I believe, by Hawkins after receiving the inbound. Well, the Antlers are in the bonus, and so they'll be shooting free throws the rest of the way. Could be a way back into this game. It's been the only way they're able to score so far. And they trail by 10, 3:23 to go. So any more fouls, of course, the rest of the quarter will put Bonanza to the line. Here's Garcia's first free throw. It's no good. The Antlers haven't been the best free throw shooting this team this season. I said it earlier on in the broadcast, but only a 57% as a team at the free throw line. And a little bit less than that mark here in this game so far. Here's Garcia for her second free throw. That one's also no good. The rebound tipped out of bounds. Possession will go to the Raiders. Holster to inbound. She'll find Herring. Lofting it ahead to Hawkins. Hawkins, guarded inside by Werleski, kicks the pass to Thompson on the right side. Thompson lets it go out of bounds. Possession goes to the Antlers. Schooler takes the inbound pass. She brings it up for her team. Schooler into the front court. Takes the screen left, gets to the free throw line, bounces it underneath to Arata, who turns the ball over into the hands of Cobayan. Cobayan against Schooler all the way up. The lay-in too strong, but she's fouled. Zuliana Cobayan will head to the line for two. Well, if there's one thing the Antlers have done better than the Raiders in this game, it is getting to the free throw line. This will only be Lost River's third trip to the line, and they're only one of four in their previous trips. Cobayan will miss that free throw. Meantime, for Bonanza at the free throw line, that's a made free throw there by Cobayan. They're 7 of 18 at the line so far in this game, shooting again just a shade under 50%. Cobayan again made that second free throw, so our score is 18-7 right now. Schooler with it. Gives it up to Ackley. Bounces it underneath to Werleski. Turnaround shot is no good, but she's fouled. It's a good shot selection there by Werleski, and it earns her free throws. And again, more on the way for Bonanza. Werleski shooting her first two of the game. The senior, 5'7". Here's her first. It is no good. No subs in. We'll just have Werleski shooting her second free throw. 2:37 to go in the third. And a whistle. And we will have a sub, pardon me, as Hernandez checks in for Cobayan. Here's Werleski on the shot. That one's no good. The rebound is picked up by Werleski. She gets in a battle with Hawkins for it. Thrown to the ground. Is this a jump ball or is this a foul? Now, this is going to be a held ball. Possession stays with the Antlers. Hawkins aggressive on that take. Threw Werleski to the ground, but her team keeps the ball for her effort. So nice job there by Werleski to hold on tight. Schooler looks to Ackley close to the rim. She gets hacked on the way up, and she'll shoot free throws. This has been one of the most unique basketball games I've ever seen. More free throws on the way for Bonanza. I believe these are free throws 21 and 22. And the first one is good. Ackley now with 3 points. And she is 3 for 4 so far at the line. And misses the second. Pardon me, she was 3 of 5, now 3 of 6. Isabel Herring gets fouled on the other side. This will also be, well, conflicting information from the officials. It looks like the foul is on the floor, and so the Raiders will inbound. 2:24 to go in the third. 18-8 the score. And pardon me, with that being the fifth team foul and putting the Raiders into the bonus, it will earn free throws for Isabel Herring. Her first is off the mark. Isabel finished the first half with 4 points, a couple of made field goals. These are her first free throws. Of course, you saw her miss her first. And a second on the way. That one rattles out. The rebound is going to go nearly out of bounds. Saved in the corner by Hawkins. A great play. Hawkins gets it back on the baseline, gets in a tussle with Werleski again, and a foul. Going to charge the foul to Hawkins, and the Antlers, well, they get away with one maybe a little bit there. Coach Jen Hardman slouched over on the far sideline. She thought maybe that should have gone against Werleski. Hard to disagree with her, but now Werleski goes to the line. She is 0 for 2 in her previous trips to the penalty stripe. And she can't make that one. Second free throw also no good. This time the rebound picked up by Hernandez. Races up the floor. Hernandez takes a screen left, tries to get it to Holster. It's tipped away into the hands of Werleski. And the Antlers' defense prevails. Can they score? Pass it to the front court to Garcia. Tipped away. It will stay with the Antlers. Coach Ray Struve will call time before this next possession. His team trails 18-8, 1:57 to go in the third. We'll be back with more of the East Cascades Conference Tournament after this.
Drive play an important part of our everyday. Whether we're going to work, dropping off the kids at school, or maybe even on that first date. Vehicles we drive play an important role in all of that. And that's why at Klamath Falls Subaru, we are so passionate about getting you the long-lasting vehicle that you will love. When you come to our store, you'll find that every department is dedicated to caring for our customers, which is why I can proudly send anyone here knowing that they will be treated like family. Stop by and say hi. When you come to Klamath Falls Subaru, you're coming home.
Back with you, under 2 minutes to go in the third quarter of the East Cascades Conference Tournament. Semifinal winner here advances to play Trinity Lutheran for a chance at a conference title. And they'll also get an automatic bid to the 16-team 2A playoffs. The loser is eliminated, and their season is over. Here are the Antlers with the ball. Schooler trying to drive the right side. Stops on the block. Outside to Werleski. Free throw line jumper, no good. Rebound picked up by Isabel Herring. Herring into the front court for the Raiders. Takes it all the way in. In the corner to Holster. A long two is too strong. The rebound tipped out of bounds. Will stay with the Raiders. Herring will inbound. Trying to get it to Thompson. The ball poked away by Ackley into the hands of Schooler. They all get tied up, and possession stays with the Raiders. And that is good defense by Lost River, recovering there and tying up Mary Schooler to keep possession of the basketball. Isabel Herring will inbound. Fakes a pass to her left, looks right, tries to find Hawkins. A loose ball again picked up by Schooler. Schooler loses it. It's stolen by Hawkins. And the ball goes out of bounds as Schooler tipped it out. And the Raiders will keep possession. They'll inbound right in front of the crow's nest here. Kind of hard to see everyone at the bottom of your screen, but there we go. Inbound pass will go to Herring. She takes a screen right, drives in against Ackley. Shot off the glass, no. The rebound is tipped out of bounds, last touched by the Raiders. And so the Antlers take possession. 1:13 to go in the third. Our score is 18-8. Mary Schooler into the front court. Schooler passes it off to Ackley. Ackley goes baseline by the defender, up with the shot, it's good! And the Antlers get their first field goal of the game with a minute to go in the third. It's not over yet. They need to put more of those together as Hernandez can't answer on the other side. Mary Schooler along the far side of the floor. Outlet pass incomplete to Ackley. Out of bounds. .43 seconds left to go in the third quarter. 7 seconds separate shot and game clock. Here's Isabel Herring. Herring switches to a left-hand dribble, gets by one defender, met in the paint by Werleski. Loose ball picked up by Hawkins, tied up by Schooler, and a loose ball is going to result in a whistle. Kickball violation, and the Raiders keep it. That will reset the shot clock as well, turning it off with 28 seconds to go in the period. Amaris Hernandez receives the inbound pass, kicks it to Holster. She can't receive the pass, saves it from going out of bounds. The ball's picked up by Hernandez in the corner, gives it to Hawkins, who gets tied up by Schooler. They're going to actually call a foul against Mary Schooler, and this should result in free throws for Hawkins. These will be the first free throws for Hawkins as she banks in the first. Subs in for Lost River. Well, they're trying to get Julia Ayala in the game, but she'll check in for Hawkins after a make. Although she missed it, the rebound goes to Bonanza. Pass into the front court goes to Ackley. Ackley driving inside, up with the shot, no. Thompson with the board, 10 seconds to go in the third. The Raiders can get a shot off. Here's Herring on the far side. Herring inside the arc. A shot is not going to come before she travels. And the Antlers will have a chance with 3.5 seconds to go in the period. Werleski gets the inbound pass with two, with one. Ackley, half court, no. And we will head to the fourth quarter with Lost River ahead by 9. A score of 19-10. We'll be back with the East Cascades Conference Tournament after this.
Threads. There are many threads that run through our region. There are churches and schools and Little League teams that bring us together and bind us into communities. There are roads and cars, there are houses and jobs and businesses, all woven together to make the fabric of our communities. There are financial threads that are part of that tapestry as well. For over 80 years, it's been our pleasure to be headquartered here, providing financial services to generations of our friends and neighbors. From that first savings account, to retirement planning, and all of the cars and houses and groceries in between, we keep your money local, investing it back into our communities, adding more threads to the fabric to make our communities stronger. Pacific Crest Federal Credit Union. Find your path.
Fourth quarter already in progress. Bonanza trails Lost River 19-10. They'll start with the ball as Maggie Ackley goes up with the shot and gets fouled. So Maggie Ackley going to the line. She is the only Antler with a made field goal in the fourth quarter. As from the free throw line, she is 3 of 6 so far in the game. Winner here advances to play Trinity Lutheran in the conference title game on Saturday at Bonanza. The loser's season is over. Of course, winner also gets an automatic bid to the 16-team state playoff. Second free throw pending for Maggie Ackley. That one rattles out. Rebound is picked up by Dalton. Lost River has been indomitable on the glass in this game. Here's Amaris Hernandez. Takes a screen to get to the wing. Gives it up to Kabayan. Now Thompson on the near side. Underneath to Turner. Quick shot is no good. The rebound is picked up by Ness. She's got to get around 3 Raiders and finally breaks out of it. Pass comes to Ackley. Ackley is blocked from behind by Thompson. Great interior defense by the Raiders. And here's Avery Turner. Turner up with the shot. No, the rebound picked up by Werleski. Gives it up to Grace Ness. Ness along the near sideline. Drives in. Spins around. Out to Werleski. A 2. Got it. 6 points separate the Raiders from the Antlers with 7 minutes to go. Cobayan passes turned over into the hands of Garcia. Garcia racing the floor. Gets inside. Gives it up to Arata. Arata drives it off the glass. She scores. The Antlers are surging in the fourth quarter. They trail by 4. 6:40 to go in the fourth quarter. Here's Avery Turner. Turner and the Raiders look to respond. Cobayan backs up along 2, no. Rebound Thompson, she scores. Macy Thompson, big bucket for her first 2 points of the game. Puts the Antlers back out in front, 21-15, 6:20 to go. Here's Ness and a whistle. Timeout. Coach Ray Struve calling time. His team finding life in the fourth quarter. We'll be back in the East Cascades Conference Tournament on mybasin.com.
This was kind of what defined me as a person. I loved to play every sport I could possibly play. The Abbeys was really the family stomping ground for all of our community. Saturday afternoon soccer tournaments, we'd head over to Abbeys afterwards. And then when we got up into middle school, on our way home, we'd stop at Abbeys after basketball games. When I go home, I want to see 2 things when I drive through Winston. I want to see my Abbeys and I want to see my high school. And those are the 2 memories that stick out the most to me.
The Bonanza Antlers have found life facing the end of their season. They trail by 6 against Lost River with 6:18 to go in the fourth. The Antlers didn't make their first field goal in the game until 1 minute left to go in the third quarter. And despite all of that, they still only trail by 6. Credit to what has been good perimeter defense for Bonanza. All of Lost River's points really have come on the inside. Lost River has no made triples. All of their points coming on the interior, and that's been credit to good rebounding by the Raiders. A lot of missed shots caused by decent defense by Bonanza. This time Werleski puts up a shot. Rebound picked up by Dalton. Ness tips it away and keeps it in the corner. Gives it up to Schooler. Whips the pass down to Werleski. She's fouled. Oh, yeah, much to the chagrin of the Raiders fans here. Thought that Dalton got ball there, but instead it's Werleski to the line. Werleski with 2 points so far today. She's 0 for 4 from the line, make it 0 of 5. Isabel Herring checks in for Mackenzie Dalton, who just picked up her 4th foul. She's been big for the Raiders. Now in foul trouble, the Raiders don't have either of their bigs, their starting bigs, on the floor. As Werleski drills the second free throw, 21-16 our score with Lost River in front. Turner feeds Herring all alone, skating to the cup, she scores. 23-16, Lost River in front, 5:48 to go in the fourth. Mary Schooler drives in on the other side, kicks it to Garcia. Garcia steps to the cup, off the glass and in. Now Lost River on the other side. Here's Cobayan. Cobayan finds some space, gives it to Thompson. Another beautiful take. She misses the open layup. Now it's Grace Ness ahead for the Antlers all the way home. She scores. It's a 3-point game, 23-20, 5:16 to go in the fourth. Zuliana Cobayan on the far side, passes it to Thompson, met in the paint by Werleski. Thompson gets by her, can't score, and Garcia with the miss. Schooler passes it ahead to Ness. Ness to Ackley, to the cup, you bet! The Antlers are within 1. Timeout is called. Jen Hartman can't believe it. 23-22, 5 minutes to go. We'll be back on mybasin.com.
Parent of a high school athlete, I've given up trying to get pictures of my kid playing sports. It's nearly impossible to take pictures and enjoy the game. There is a solution, though. God's Gifts Photography attends high school sporting events in the Basin to take individual and team action photos at a great price. Search God's Gifts 2 on Facebook to learn more. They'll come and capture your athlete in action, creating those frameable lifelong memories so you can watch and just enjoy the moment. Call 541-281-2206 to get your athlete on their schedule. God's Gifts Photography.
The fourth quarter continues at Lost River High School. This game has turned, and even though Bonanza trails by 1, They have all of the momentum right now. It's up to Lost River to try to stifle it as they'll inbound across the way. Isabel Herring at the baseline. She'll find Avery Turner. Big thing here in the fourth quarter. Lost River has been without their 2 starting bigs. It's allowed Bonanza to make some easy looks inside. Hema Archeo-Bagoni is back out onto the floor, and they try to feed her inside. The Antlers get the ball back. They have a chance to take the lead. Mary Schooler gives it to Grace Ness. Ness drives inside, splits the defense off the glass. No. Brisa Garcia collects the rebound, gives it to Ness, to Schooler for 3. No. And the rebound picked up by Turner. Raiders remain in front, and Turner with the ball. Drives in, picked up at midcourt by Ackley. Ackley loses Turner. They dump it underneath to Herring. The ball is tipped out of bounds by Ackley, stopping a sure thing bucket close to the rim by Herring. 22 seconds on the shot clock. The Raiders will inbound. This game has gone from not particularly close at all to a 1-point game. Amaris Hernandez takes the inbound pass inside, kicks it out to Turner, head fakes a 3, loses it on the drive. Schooler has it. Schooler passes ahead to Ness. Ness to Ackley for the lead. Bonanza in front, 24-23. Their first lead of the game comes with 4 minutes to go in the fourth. Avery Turner in front. Turner takes a screen left. She tries a 3. No, thought about it. Gives it up to Cobain. She'll trigger 1. Bang! First made triple for Zuliana Cabayan on the Lost River Raiders. Puts them back up in front by 2. Here's Mary Schooler driving in. Outside to Ackley. Ackley along 2 to tie. She hits it. Tied up at 26. 3:25 to go. Avery Turner with it now. She takes a screen right. Tries a 3 to respond. Off the glass, no. Rebound picked up by Hernandez. She can't finish. Archeo-Bagoni cleans it up and 1. Big time bucket for Archeo-Bagoni inside, and she'll have a chance to make it a 3-point game. One-handed free throw. Archeo-Bagoni cashes in. I suppose they're going to say that I thought she had made the bucket previous, but instead she didn't, so they're just going to give her 2 free throws, and she makes it a 2-point game. 28-26. Here come the Antlers. Schooler brings it up. 3:07 to go. Schooler gives it up to Ackley. Ackley drives the right side, turns it over, tries to get it back, saves it from going out of bounds, and then no one's there to pick it up. And the Raiders get it back. High-intensity playoff action in the 2A East Cascades Conference as Avery Turner takes the inbound pass. Her team up by 2, 2:56 to go in the ball game. Turner drives in, feeds Archeo-Bagoni close to the cup. It's tipped out of bounds, last touched by the Antlers. Inbound pass stolen by the Antlers. Grace Ness dribbles up. Ness kicks it over to Schooler. Schooler driving inside to tie again. Hangs on the rim and goes. 28 all. 2:35 to go. Mary Schooler with her first made field goal of the game. Pass goes over to Archeo-Bagoni. She tips it out of bounds. Oh, a foul is called against, I believe, Worleski. She might have pushed there. And so the Raiders will keep possession. They'll have a chance to get back out in front. 2:24 to go in the fourth. Inbound pass goes to Turner. Turner denies the screen left, goes right with it, up with the shot. Turner leaves it short. Archeo-Bagoni with the putback, no. A third chance for the Raiders, no. The fourth opportunity goes out of bounds, and the Antlers take it. Schooler will inbound to Ness. Ness back ahead to Schooler. Schooler dribbles to the arc, bounces it to Garcia, back out to Schooler, head fakes a three, drives inside, met there by Archeo Bagoni, and she travels. Good defense again by Archeo Bagoni. We'll see Mackenzie Dalton still on the bench for Lost River. She has 4 fouls. They're going to want her down the stretch. Such a big reason about why this team was out in front the way they were. But now tied up, 28 all. 1:51 to go. Turner feeds Herring close to the cup, off the glass. She can't score. Archeo Bagoni's putback is no good, but she's fouled. This time shooting 2. Made both of her free throws in her previous trip. She's 2 for 4 overall with 4 points. I believe Grace Ness is done. Yeah, she's fouled out. Team is going to have to do it without their senior guard as Vashti Arata checks in. Ness exits the game with 3 points, all at the free throw line. A chance to claim the lead for the Raiders. Archeo Bagoni does not hit the first, but she does have a second. Coach Ray Struve calls time before a second free throw. Will take it with him. 1:45 to go, tied at 28 in the East Cascades Conference Tournament. More after this. Fourth quarter action continues from Lost River High School, tied at 28 with 1:45 to go. And one more pending free throw from Emma Archeo Bagoni. Chance to take the lead for her team, who's been in front for most of the ball game. Bonanza has surged in the fourth quarter to tie. They looked dead in the water for the first 3 quarters, quite frankly, and here we are with the game and the season on the line for both teams. Archeo Bagoni can't cash in. Will stay tied with 1:43 to go, and the Antlers have it. Vashti Arata races in, kicks it out to Schooler. Schooler and the Antlers take their time. Kicks it now to Ackley. Ackley drives into the free throw line. She's fouled on the shot. Ackley a chance to give her team a lead. Emma Archeo Bagoni has fouled out. Mackenzie Dalton checks in. She's got 4 fouls herself. Maggie Ackley, 3 of 8 at the line in previous trips. She misses the first, will stay tied for now, but a chance at a second on the way. Second free throw is also no good. Will stay tied, and the Raiders have it. 1:30 to go. 28 all. The season on the line. Turner comes along the right side, brings it top of the key. Here's Hernandez outside to Kabayan for 3. Off the glass, no, and Breeza Garcia with the rebound. Mary Schooler brings it along the far sideline. Schooler guarded there by Hernandez. Drives inside past one defender, and she's fouled. Mary Schooler got pushed. That's the 4th Raider team foul. One more sends the Antlers to the bonus. Schooler to inbound, finds Ackley close. That's Arata, she scores! Bonanza, a 2-point lead, 1 minute to go. Vashti Arata, big 2 points. She's got 5 for the game. Turner to respond off the glass. No, she gets her own miss. Feeds Herring, ripped away by the Antlers. Arata has it on the far sideline, gives it up to Schooler with 47 seconds left. To Ackley for two. She hits. The Antlers lead by 4. Timeout. 40 seconds to go. We'll be back after this on mybasin.com.
What rhymes with great?
Participate.
Where does greatness start? Here, in the classroom. On the stage.
In the pool.
On the field.
Where will your greatness take you?
To better grades.
To more friends.
Yeah! Be great.
Participate.
40 seconds remain in a game that has been one of the most unique basketball games I've ever seen in my 7 years now of calling high school basketball. Bonanza in front, 4 points, 32-28 with their season on the line. They've dug deep to pull in front in the fourth quarter, and now it's up to the Raiders to try to respond, find something within themselves to keep this magical turnaround season alive. The Raiders, who finished second place in the conference this year, have won nearly as many games this season as they have in the past 3 combined. Isabel Herring, the freshman, brings it up the floor. Herring drives inside. A late whistle will give the Antlers their 4th team foul with 30 seconds to go. Raiders will inbound. Shot clock is off. They'll have to be quick. They have time. Be quick, but don't hurry. Inbound pass to Turner. Turner, 1 step inside the arc. Her shot is no good. Rebound tipped out. It is into the hands of Ackley. Ackley drives in. She scores. Bonanza up by 6. Raiders coming up the floor. Hernandez, they need a 3. 14 seconds to go. Hernandez to Turner. They have to shoot with 10. Turner loses the dribble now with 8. She tries a triple. It's way off. It goes out of bounds. The Antlers take it with 3 seconds to go. Oh my. Inbound pass to Schooler. The clock runs out. The Antlers advance to the conference championship. Final score 34-28 in a whirlwind of a basketball game. We'll be back after this on mybasin.com.
Parent of a high school athlete, I've given up trying to get pictures of my kid playing sports. It's nearly impossible to take pictures and enjoy the game. There is a solution though. God's Gifts Photography attends high school sporting events in the Basin to take individual and team action photos at a great price. Search God's Gifts 2 on Facebook to learn more. They'll come and capture your athlete in action, creating those frameable lifelong memories so you can watch and just enjoy the moment. Call 541-281-2206 to get your athlete on their schedule. God's Gifts Photography.
Threads. There are many threads that run through our region. There are churches and schools and Little League teams that bring us together and bind us into communities. There are roads and cars. There are houses and jobs and businesses, all woven together to make the fabric of our communities. There are financial threads that are part of that tapestry as well. For over 80 years, it's been our pleasure to be headquartered here, providing financial services to generations of our friends and neighbors. From that first savings account to retirement planning and all of the cars and houses and groceries in between, we keep your money local, investing it back into our communities, adding more threads to the fabric to make our communities stronger. Pacific Crest Federal Credit Union. Find your path.
At mybasin.com, we bring you the power of local radio,
The pace and reach of social media,
The information of 24-hour news,
and the excitement of local sports.
We do this with a team of radio professionals that is second to none.
Klamath Falls is a community that we love and a place that we are proud to call home.
Klamath Falls deserves a media group that is as committed to you as you are to Klamath Falls.
mybasin.com is your go-to place for news,
sports, events, and everything going on at home in Klamath Falls.
This one is final as the Bonanza Lady Antlers advance to the conference championship game after defeating Lost River 34-28. What a wild basketball game. It feels like every time that the Antlers have played the Raiders this season, we've said that. Tonight, no different. We'll introduce you to leading scores, and then we'll talk about the game that we just saw. The Antlers were led in scoring by Maggie Ackley. She had 11 points. They got 5 from Vashti Arata, 3 each from Mary Schooler, Haley Werleski, and Grace Ness, and 2 for Breeza Garcia. For the Lost River Raiders, they were led by Isabel Herring, the freshman, with 6 points, and Juliana Kabayan also had 6. 5 for Mackenzie Dalton, 4 for Hema Archeo Bagoni, and 2 each for Macy Thompson, Amaris Hernandez, and Avery Turner. Your final scoring for both teams. It was 19-10 heading into the fourth quarter. The Antlers outscored Lost River 24-9 in the fourth quarter to come away with this win. A game in which Bonanza, frankly, again, felt dead in the water through the first 3 7/8 quarters. They literally did not score a field goal until 1 minute remained in the third. Somehow, they dug deep, they battled hard, and they are victorious, extending their season, headed to the conference championship, and booking a ticket to the 2A Oregon basketball state playoffs. It is a great day to be an Antler, and potentially the party's not over yet. The Bonanza Antler boys get ready to play in just a little while in Bonanza against these Raiders, a team that they swept in the regular season, and a chance to get themselves a ticket to the 2A state playoffs. For the flip side of this, though, Lost River, their season is over. And I want to take a minute to acknowledge what a remarkable season it has been for Lost River, who finishes the season 14-7. What a remarkable turnaround for Coach Jen Hartman's team, who was 6-17 a year ago and 2-10 in the 1A classification. This year, they really turned it around, led by a senior group who unfortunately did not play their best this afternoon. Avery Turner, Hema Archeo Bagoni, Mackenzie Dalton, girls who were not on the team a year ago, came in, joined this squad, and helped turn it around. No matter the final result here tonight, Lost River led most of the way through this game. They battled hard all season long, and just a remarkable season that I think after the hurt of tonight wears off, the Lost River girls basketball program and Coach Jen Hartman, all the seniors, they should be very proud of the season they had. Unfortunately, coming up short and sending the Antlers to the conference championship game, where they will play Trinity Lutheran on Saturday at Bonanza High School. That'll be the East Cascades Conference Championship, and we will have coverage for you there on mybasin.com. And again, more coverage from Bonanza tonight as the Bonanza boys take on the Raiders in just a little while. My partner, Matt Bowling, is on site there. He'll be with you at the broadcast at 7:30. For my part, the evening is over. Thank you so much for joining us tonight for East Cascades Conference Tournament action here on mybasin.com. I want to thank everybody who made tonight's broadcast possible. Mr. Ray Struve of the Bonanza Lady Antlers and Miss Jennifer Hartman of the Lost River Raiders. Of course, J.B. Chandler, the athletic director here at Lost River High School, for allowing us to set up in the crow's nest and have such a great, beautiful view of tonight's action here in Merrill, Oregon. And of course, thanks to you for spending the season and the evening with us here on mybasin.com. We'll have your coverage of high school basketball all the way through to the end, and it should be a fun conclusion to the season. More basketball lays ahead tonight on mybasin.com, but I have got to get on out of here. Again, thank you so much for joining us tonight. Final score, the Bonanza Lady Antlers advance to the conference championship after defeating the Lost River Raiders 34-28. My name is Josh Eldridge saying so long and good night from Lost River High School.